When I started around 10 years ago, I thought approach anxiety must be the hardest thing about Daygame, but then quickly I realized it's not. Girls leaving right after the opener is a much harder challenge to solve. You're running out of things to say, girls are leaving right after they hear the compliment, and it's really hard to come up with interesting things to say to make them attracted to you. Much bigger problems, but easy to solve if you know how to. In this video, I'll show you 6 reasons why I've seen my students get rejected early and simple step-by-step solutions to these problems. Feel free to copy them. The thing is, every time someone signs up for their first coaching call, I hear the same mistakes, and I don't want to charge people to give the same advice every time. So I started doing free group coaching calls. We all hopped on a big group call. I listened to the recordings sent in by everyone and showed them what they're doing good, what their biggest mistakes are, and how exactly to fix them step by step. And the 6 mistakes I saw all the time were a weak opener, which makes you sound insecure, leaving a pause after a compliment, fucking up the delivery, talking about the wrong topics. This is why American daygamers get more numbers, but most of them flake. Not knowing how to make the girl attracted to them and keeping the line tight. Let's break down each of the mistakes and how you can solve them. We're gonna start with weak opener, which makes you sound insecure. The first time I recorded my sets, I was blown away about how bad my voice sounded. The most common word I hear when guys start listening to their recorded sets is cringe. They're surprised about how bad their voice and delivery are. If I start a conversation with quiet, weak voice, looking for the words, I'm starting from a losing position. It's gonna be very hard to climb out of the hole I just dug. This happens because of 2 reasons. First of all, your brain has too many things to focus on. Your posture, your eye contact, smile, how fast you're speaking, are you speaking loud enough, are you saying the right things, etc. Your brain simply doesn't have the capacity to focus on all of these things at the same time while you're still learning. And the second reason this happens is because you're not used to these situations. They're so stressful that your brain is in a fight or flight mode. The creative part of your brain is simply turned off. That's why you keep running out of things to say. But if you know exactly what you're gonna say during the opener, from hi to giving her a compliment to stacking, then that's something your brain doesn't have to think about anymore. If you use the same copy-paste opener every time, you'll have fewer things to focus on and you'll be able to pay more attention to your delivery and sound more confident. The funny thing is, when you try this, you'll realize that you can't even remember the whole copy-paste line perfectly, even if you're using the same line every time. If you can't deliver one copy-paste line perfectly, what do you think are the odds of you being able to come up with interesting things to say all the time? Once you get to a point where you are remembering your line, you can start polishing delivery so it sounds smooth and natural. This is step number 1. Without this, nothing else matters. But if you don't want to use copy-paste lines, then think about how are all the actors in the Netflix shows and movies you're watching making you feel these things, these feelings. It's because they're using perfect, crafted copy-paste lines, and they've polished the delivery over tens of repetitions. This is exactly what you want to do, at least in the beginning of the conversation. A lot of guys think they're already doing this, but if you record your sets and listen back to 5 sets in a row, you will realize that your opening line is sorta copy-paste, but there are slight variations in each approach, and still your delivery probably is pretty bad. This is not what I'm talking about. You want to have a perfect copy-paste line word by word, because then you don't have to think about it at all once you're able to remember it. And that's when you can really polish the delivery and have a perfect opening line, which makes you sound much more confident. If you need help creating your perfect opening line, watch videos 1 through 6 in the Structured Natural Approach video course. It's available for free on daygamecourses.com. If you've never recorded your sets before, try it. You'll learn a lot. There's a video linked in the description where you'll learn everything about how to do that. The second reason I've heard my students be rejected constantly is they're leaving a pause after a compliment. Hot girls are being hit on all the time at work, university, coffee shop, gym, streets, etc. Most guys are boring, and when all I have to say is that she looks cute, I'm just another boring guy giving her a compliment. And doing that on the street doesn't make me special. She really doesn't care about yet another dude hitting on her. On top of that, she's going somewhere, thinking about something, all being in her logical brain. And here I am. I say, hey, sorry, I know this is really random, but I thought you looked really cute. I wait for her response, but all I hear is thank you, and she walks off. To change this, I need to spark her emotions, to make her feel something and switch from her logical brain to her emotional brain. And the simplest way to do this is to use a good stack that will spark her emotions right after the compliment. That's why a good stack does two things. First, makes it easy for her to respond with a topic to talk about, and sparks her emotions with a tease. Now all of a sudden, I'm not just a random guy giving a compliment, I'm the guy who made her feel something. So, never leave a pause after the compliment. Directly transition into a good, rehearsed, polished stack that sparks your emotions with a nice tease. If you're not sure how to create the perfect stack, watch my video Daygame Stacking Advanced plus my 4 best stacks in the Structured Natural Approach course, which is available for free on daygamecourses.com. Next, let's talk about the mistake, which is the cause why girls walk off even before the student has finished delivering the opening line. A month ago, I was coaching a German daygamer in Prague, and he was getting blowout after blowout. He crafted the perfect opening line, but on the first day, it simply wasn't working because girls kept walking off before he even got to deliver it. I have seen this many times, and I found a solution to this when coaching a few students in Riga in the spring of 2024 by adding a small pause right after saying hi. Sometimes guys are trying to stop the girl by what they're saying, but how you're saying it is much more important. This is why we use copy-paste openers, so we can polish the how. If girls are walking off before you even finish delivering the opening line, there are two things that really helped my students. The German student believed that what he says is the reason girls stop, so he tried to get out the perfect words as fast as possible. If only she heard the beautiful line he has crafted, she would definitely want to talk to him, right? No. And this got even worse when he felt the girl started walking off. Slow down your delivery. If you think you're speaking slow enough, speak 3 times slower and record your sets to confirm. There's only one time during the initial opener when it's okay, well, I would even say when it's important to make a pause. Previously, I explained why a pause after the compliment will make the girl walk off. But if you add a pause right after saying hi, it will have the opposite effect. When guys learn structured day game, they oftentimes become robotic. If you sound like you're reading the opener from a book and the girl is walking off mid-sentence, try this thing. First, a strong stop, including smile and eye contact as soon as you're shoulder to shoulder with the girl. Then say hi. Step 3, pause until she's fully stopped. And only then, step 4, deliver your pre-opener, opener, and stack. I added that pause to the German and to other students, and all 3 of them got rid of 95% of the blowouts, even a guy who was older than 70 years old. And if you're unsure about the delivery, you can always sign up for the free group coaching calls. I listen to your recording, point out your biggest mistakes, and tell you how to fix them. You can find all the information about the free group coaching calls by clicking the link in the description. Why is it that American daygamers get more numbers, but almost all of them flake? An American guy from Seattle joined the free group coaching call. He was so good at small talk. I was blown away by his ability to just keep the conversation going while talking about nothing. It's just a long blah 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 chat. He was engaging, he was interesting, he was getting many numbers, but most of them flaked. I told him how to fix this mistake. 8 out of the next 15 numbers responded, and he got laid 57 approaches later. When chatting up a girl, we're working on 2 things: attraction and comfort. In the beginning of a conversation, we use storytelling and teasing to increase attraction. We focus on this until we reach the hook point. Now the girl is interested in you. She wants to keep talking. During this initial phase, before the hook point, you can talk about 2 types of topics: concrete topics and non-topics. The concrete topics are: where is she from? What does she do? What does she study? What is she up to right now? What does she do in her free time? Or what I call non-topics. shopping, her going to meet her friends, her coming from the gym, style, weather, etc. All of these topics can be used to build attraction. Remember both types for later. After the hook point though, everything changes. Attraction is high enough, and if you keep teasing and storytelling, it's gonna be too much. You will look like a high energy clown. She'll go home and think, okay, that dude was interesting and high energy, but is he even capable of having a normal conversation? What do I know about him? I don't know him. Because of that, now it's time to get to know each other during the comfort phase of the set. After reaching a hook point, the goal is to build comfort, to get to know each other. Now when she goes home, she thinks, oh, okay, I met this dude, he was fun, he's interesting, he's from Chicago, he's in real estate, does Muay Thai in his free time. He sounds like a pretty cool dude. After the hook point, we talk about concrete topics and get to know each other. You should know at least 3 of these things. Where is she from? What does she do? What does she study? What is she up to right now? What does she do on her free time? 3 is okay. She also should know at least 3 of these things about you. What do you do? Where are you from? Why are you here? And what do you do on your free time? But here comes the interesting part. If you talk about non-topics before the hook point, you can build attraction, but you aren't getting to know each other. And that's fine because you can always do that after the hook point during the comfort phase. But if you only talk about concrete topics before and after hook point, you can both build attraction and comfort at the same time. Just make sure you're teasing and storytelling a lot before the hook point and drop 90% of teasing after the hook point to show you're able to have a normal conversation. The too long didn't read version. Only talk about topics that let you get to know each other. Focus on teasing and storytelling to build attraction before the hook point and on getting to know each other after the hook point to build comfort. That way you're building a lot of attraction in the beginning of a set, you're building a lot of comfort later in a set, and then she goes home and thinks, oh, he was an interesting dude, but I also know him, I want to go out with him. Why attraction is so important and how to make it happen fast. When you talk to a girl, you have no more than 30 seconds to make her interested. When you do a good day game stuff and deliver the perfect polished opener, the attraction spikes from 0 to let's say 2 out of 10. This gives you 30 seconds. If your opener included a good stack, she probably responded with a topic you can use to keep the conversation going. Now you know what she's up to, where she's from, what does she do, or something similar. You have no more than 30 seconds to increase the attraction even more, or she will leave. If you start asking boring questions, she realizes, oh, I thought he's different, he's just as boring as all the other dudes. The attraction drops back to 0, and she leaves. Even if you deliver a mediocre, short, copy-paste story in a response to the topic she just gave you, that already might increase the attraction to 3 out of 10. This gives you 30 seconds more. If you keep teasing and playing around with different topics that come up, step by step the attraction increases to 4, 6, 7, and 8, at which moment you reach the hook point. Now, once you've reached the hook point, she's much less likely to leave if you fuck up because she's already interested in chatting with you. Learning to keep the attraction climbing step by step until you reach the hook point is one of the hardest skills to learn in day game. For example, during infield coaching, we devote at least 2 full coaching days to this, while learning online, we usually spend between 2 and 4 months just on this skill set alone. But this is one of the most important skills in day game. Once you can do this, you can talk about any topic that come up in an interesting way and you'll never run out of things to say. Good teasing and storytelling is what separates guys who are getting good reactions when they open but then the girls leave and the guys who are getting a lot of numbers. I teach many different storytelling techniques to my students, but if you're stuck there is a playlist of 4 videos to help you improve your storytelling linked in the description. Look for day game teasing and storytelling techniques. And lastly, keep the line tight. Fishing and day game are oddly similar. Imagine you have a good fish at the end of the line. If there is any slack in the line, the fish can shake off the hook. You have to keep the line tight at all times. Day game is the same. The line has to be tight throughout the whole conversation. I'm coaching one guy from Paris, and this is his problem. He's able to keep the conversation going, But it takes him a long time to find a good topic to talk about, and then it's very hard for him to come up with interesting stuff to say. He can come up with good stacks and stories, but he kinda does a lot of blah 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 until he gets there. Each coaching call, I'm teaching him new step-by-step techniques to keep his conversations interesting, and it's working. We listened to a few of his sets a few days ago together during a coaching call, and the girls are starting to giggle at his teases, the interaction is increasing, and he's starting to get more numbers. To make sure the line is tight in your sets, follow these 4 steps. As soon as you open, stack immediately to find a good topic to talk about. As soon as you find a good topic, tease and storytelling, go straight into it to build attraction. Each time she gives you new information, use it for more teasing and storytelling. Keep the conversation easy, interesting, and with no awkward pauses until you get to the hook point. Because at that moment you can chill, have a normal conversation, and just get to know each other. Through these 4 steps until you reach the hook point, you have to keep the line tight. If the attraction drops, or if there are awkward pauses, she'll simply leave. Remember, after a good opener, you have no more than 30 seconds to increase the attraction even more. Once you do, that gives you 30 seconds more, and so on until you reach the hook point. Keep the line tight. Every guy who joined the free group coaching calls was making multiple of these mistakes. When I announced the free group coaching calls, 58 guys signed up, but I'm coaching in field and online all the time, so I didn't have time to listen to the recordings of everyone who applied. But I accepted 15 of the 58 applications and offered a discounted coaching call for everyone I didn't have a spot for. If you want me to listen to one of your sets and help you understand why you're running out of things to say, why you aren't getting numbers, or why your numbers are flaky, then sign up for the next free group coaching call. All the information is available through the link in description. Just look for free group coaching call or free day game coaching. That's it for this time. See you in the next podcast episode. Ciao, guys.